Hi, everybody. Just going to be waiting a few minutes just to give people a chance to join. Hope you've all had good days on this. I don't know if any of you are, let us know in the chat box where you're from. I am living in London at the moment, and the weather today has been absolutely horrendous. Got caught in the rain many, many times. Okay, hopefully you can all see my screen okay. So who have we got here? Manaz is from Birmingham. Alan's from Halifax. Oh, Joanne from Paris. Bonjour. Oh, everybody is all over. I love this. International. So we'll just give it another minute and then I will get started. So I'll probably do about 25 minutes of sort of talking at you, and then I'll try and leave 5 minutes at the end for some question time. And so if you've got any questions, you can either pop it in the chat box and I can go through after, or hang on to it to the end and you can ask me, and you can either unmute yourself or I can read it from the chat box. I'll try my best to look at the chat box as we go along. Sometimes I get so into it I forget to look at the chat box. So it's about 3 minutes past. So if everyone's happy, I will get started. Now, hopefully you can all see my screen. All okay? Okay, so let us crack on. So welcome to this workshop, which is how to feel good about money in business and in life. So one of the first things is money makes me feel. Now, when you probably saw the workshop or the title or the opportunity to book tickets, there's probably some kind of feeling. Money makes us feel things. It might be stress, overwhelm, confusion, or it might be excitement or freedom. But the key thing is that it's a feeling. Now, just to give you a bit of insight to who I am and what today's going to be about. So today we're going to kind of focus on understanding your relationship with money and how it impacts your business and also your personal life. And then also sort of top tips for improving your mindset, being able to confidently charge for your services, and also a bit about money and mental health. So who am I? I am a money and mindset coach, and I was recently nominated as online influencer, financial influencer of the year by the British Bank Awards, which was cool. With a nice swanky award ceremony that I got to go to. And my aim is to talk about money in a fun, judgment-free, jargon-free way. And my story is that I basically wanted to be an actress. Drama school was about £15,000, so I was like, right, I better save up. And I got my first ever full-time job. And by the time I was 22, I had £15,000 saved. Just before I was due to go to my acting course, my friends asked me to go traveling. So I did. And it was the most amazing experience. I spent all of the money, but I had this moment where I realized that money gives you freedom. Having a good relationship with it and having it gives you options and choice, because I didn't have to pick between which one I could afford to do out of traveling and drama school. I picked which one I wanted. And then that is just led me into this world of like finance. And I started sharing about my experiences online and everybody wanted to know more. And it's just kind of taken off from there. And then last year I got certified as a financial coach. And now I teach about money, basically. So the three main things that make up our sort of like financial personalities are the emotional, the practical, and the spiritual. So the emotional is all of the things such as your money mindset, your money blocks and your money beliefs, how money makes you feel, all of that kind of internal, emotional, mental work. Then you have the practical, which is things like the budgeting tips and debt management plans and, you know, anything that requires practical finance part, right? So spreadsheets and numbers, it's the bit that people straight up think about when they think about money. And then spiritual, and this isn't just all the woo-woo like stuff, it's your financial goals, your financial values, like how you how money impacts your life, that kind of overarching picture. And all three combined together, you've got in the middle there, FF, financial freedom. Now, in today's workshop, we're going to talk about the emotional part, which is arguably the most important part, but you know, we can all, everybody has a different opinion on that. But first up, I wanted to just share a little bit of some stats about money in the UK. So first up, 39% of adults don't feel confident managing their money. 11.5 million people in the UK have less than £100 in savings, and 9 million people are in serious debt, and only a third receive help. So all of these stats, and obviously this was done back in 2020, so I can imagine after the pandemic, it's probably completely different, but it just shows how many people feel not very confident when it comes to managing and saving money. And another stat that I love is that people in Britain would rather talk about their sex life than talk about money, which always cracks me up. So if you cringe or avoid the topic, or it makes you feel uncomfortable or anything, any feelings of fear, know that you are not alone. And this thing is that it's very ironic because we live in a world where we need money, right? We have to have money, but there is a societal narrative that convinces us to believe that wanting money is selfish or greedy, or talking about money is crude, or, you know, and especially in the UK. And we all have these beliefs about money. And then on top of that, we have our own personal experiences and beliefs that have formed over the years. So it's just a little bit of an insight into that side of it. Now, on to the next slide. One of the things that I wanted to mention was I did a report, a bit of research a few years ago about money and mental health. And what we learned was that there is a massive connection between the two. So if you have poor mental health, it's going to make handling your money harder. And if you're struggling with money at the moment, it is going to have a negative impact on your mental health. And the two can become this downwards spiral. So it's just something to really be aware of. And with that in mind, I just want to talk a little bit about financial well-being. Now, financial well-being is about having a good relationship with your money. So feeling secure and in control, having a freedom of choice in the now and in the future. That's what makes up our financial well-being. It's not about how much money you have or what salary you're on. It's about the feeling around money in the present and in the future. Now, if you are struggling right now, one thing I just wanted to sort of mention was, here are the kind of top 6 things you can do if you're struggling with your money. So number 1, identify the stress points. What is it that's causing you to feel stressed? Is it that you don't know where your money is going? Is it that you have debt you're not sure, like how much you owe? Is it you don't know if you can pay your bills? Figure out what the bit is that's making you feel stressed. And number 2, be really honest with yourself. You end up, if you stick your head in the sand, avoiding not looking in your bank account, or you avoid looking at anything, you feel like it's helping you in the short term because you're avoiding that pain of what you might be having to like face up to. But in the long term, it's going to make it worse. So be really honest with yourself, because that allows you, step number 3, to make a tangible plan and take small steps towards whatever it is. So if you know that your stress point is that you're in debt, you can create a plan to clear it. Even if it takes you 10 years, having a plan is going to help you actually get to where you need to be. If you want to set up a business, or you're running your business and you're not really sure what's going on with the finances side of it, you can make a plan to increase your outcome, decrease your expenses, and increase your profit. So it's just about that's the practical part, making a plan. Number 4 is about remaining positive. Now, I'll get on to talking about money mindset in a minute, but remaining positive about your situation is key. Now, obviously, we're having a moment where everything about money seems crazy. We've got messages about, energy bills and inflation and the housing market. So if you're constantly reading the news, it's deregulating your nervous system, and it's going to be making you feel all over the shop, because it's constantly, we have something to be scared of about our money. It's not about ignoring what's going on, but it's just about figuring out what's in your control and remaining calm and positive. Number 5 is about tracking your progress. So make sure that you know what it is that you're actually working towards, and then tracking those steps along the way, because that's going to keep you motivated. But if all of this being said, know that there is help available. So there are some incredible charities like Step Change and Citizens Advice that can help offer free financial advice if you need it. So that's just kind of like an overview on what to do right now if you're feeling financially overwhelmed. Now, the thing when it comes to money mindset is I like to see it as a house. Now imagine that you're building your own house, right? If you went and bought all of the practical stuff, you bought some nice furniture, you've bought some pieces of art, you've bought a nice new sofa, all of these things, all that practical stuff, but then you built it on a pile of mud, it doesn't matter what you have, that house is going to fall down. Now, I see that as the difference between the practical financial solutions and money mindset. You want to have your money mindset first. It's the foundation to build up on, and then you can have all of the practical stuff that helps you save, spend, and grow your money. So it's about asking, what foundation are you currently building on right now? Now, to give you an example of this, when it comes to personal finance, some classic cases of like problems with money is debt, struggling to save, and avoiding future planning. Now, if we were to look at practical solutions to that, that might be creating a debt management plan, automating your savings, or opening a pension. Now, the problem is if you don't have a positive money mindset, you're going to end up, it doesn't matter what debt management plan you have, you won't end up clearing it, feeling motivated, or you'll clear it and you'll end up back in debt. With the savings, you might automate it, but you'll end up dipping back into your savings, or you might open a pension, but you probably won't even pay into it. So the step in between that is about your money mindset. If you can improve your money mindset first, that's going to help those practical solutions actually last. So for example, with debt, if you can actually start to feel that you're worthy of having money and actually believing that you can be debt free, part of your money mindset, that will help the practical part. If you believe you can actually, like if you explore what your beliefs are around saving and why you think you haven't been able to save, and you work on improving your relationship with money and saving first, automating your savings will help because you won't dip into it. And the same with your pension, really. If you're avoiding future planning, having a pension isn't really going to help. You want to improve your money mindset first. And the same goes if you run a business. So if you're self-employed or a director of your own company, some classic problems might be undercharging. Maybe you're struggling to go full time, or maybe you're ignoring your business finances. Now, what you might think to do would be charge more, just quit your job, get an accountant. Same again, these are all great practical solutions, but without the money mindset part, you might charge your prices, but it might make you feel so unconfident that you never promote yourself. You might look to quit your job, but then you might feel so scared about doing it that you end up quitting the business altogether. And then you might get an accountant, so you're not ignoring your business finances, but you're not going to have a clue what's going on or feel connected to your business finances. So the best thing to do is put one step in the middle, and that's improve your money mindset. Now, I've been chucking around the phrase loads. So money mindset is about our financial decisions are emotional, not logical. We assume that these decisions that we make about our money is a logical decision, but our emotions actually take place first. And that has an impact on what we then, how we spend, how we do all of these things. So the sort of definition is our money mindset is a unique set of beliefs and attitudes towards money that drives our behavior and our decisions about how we spend, save, and handle our money. Now, this is important because you want, like I said, you want to build up a good mindset first and then cultivate the habits and the practical stuff after that. And our money mindset is basically made up of our sense of identity about ourselves and money, our beliefs about money and our business, how we value our time, recognizing the value that we have to offer, our self-talk, and our sense of self-worth. So you can see all of these things come from how we talk to ourselves, how we talk to others, our beliefs around time and value. And there is this sense of our money ends up getting attached to our self-worth, but our self-worth is not our net worth. If you're in debt, it doesn't make you a bad person. Just as if you have loads of money, it doesn't make you a better person than anybody else. But understanding these 6 things can help you become aware of your relationship with money. And how does that impact the business? So your sense of self-worth will affect how you charge for your services in your business. If you have low self-worth, it's going to affect your self-esteem, which will therefore make the assumption that you're not worthy of charging a certain amount for your money. If you're then low in that confidence and you charge less, if we don't value ourselves, how will anybody else? So that you can see how we view money and how we view ourselves has an impact on what we're selling and how we're selling within our business. Now, where does our money mindset come from? So the one thing that we all have in common is we all have a money story. Now, a money story is basically the impact that your childhood has on our core memories of money. So without giving you a full science lesson, from when you come out of, when you're birthed and your brain, you have different brain waves than you do to when you're an adult. So essentially from a young age, from up until about the age of 8, you are taking in all this information, what you hear your parents say, what you see in your friends, what you see in school, what you're reading, and you believe it all to be true. You're still in that state where you're learning, and everything that you're learning, you're just taking on, and it's all getting stuck in your subconscious. What you then do is you then form your analytical mind. Those experiences that you have become a set of beliefs, and they internalize and they manifest in a different way for everybody as an adult. Now, just to give you an example, for me, my money story is my mum and dad didn't have much money, and my brother came along. We went out on holidays, we weren't doing all this stuff, and my dad always used to say, money doesn't grow on trees. Now, he was self-employed, and I had this belief that going self-employed and running your own business means that you'd be working every hour under the sun, but you'd only be making enough money to survive. So that had an impact on me and how I then went out into the world before I ran my business. Now, it's not to say that every single way that your parents or guardians are, that you end up acting the same. It's just that it has an impact and it manifests in different ways. Now, from that, you can start to build up a picture of your mindset and start to understand how it's having an impact on you now. So, for example, the ways that this might manifest as an adult, you might be like, I really suck at money, which makes you start to believe like, oh God, how have I ended up in so much debt? You convince yourself you're bad at money. So you then end up being bad with money. Then you have an excuse for your behavior. And then when things go wrong, you blame it on being bad. You might be a guilty spender and you feel bad when you spend money. Or you might have the YOLO attitude where you're like, I'm going to die someday, might as well spend all my money. And when it comes to your business, you might end up with a mindset of, I'll never make any money. Even if there's other people in the industry that have made money in your industry, you might have imposter syndrome and feel like you're not worthy of running your business. Or you might be the procrastinator, avoiding finances altogether and procrastinating all the stuff that you need to do when it comes to your money. So whether we realize it or not, our money story manifests in many different ways, and it affects what we then do with our money. So the first step in solving any problem is to recognize that there is one in the first place. Now, I know this sounds like an AA meeting, but essentially it's about recognizing, where is it that I am falling down when it comes to my relationship with money? Where is it that I am starting to acknowledge the ways in which my money story and my money mindset is stopping me from making more, having more, saving more? So the first thing that you want to do is be really honest with yourself. Then you want to start to explore your money story. So understanding and asking yourself the questions, what do I remember my parents saying about money when I was younger? What phrases did I hear? What is my earliest memory of money? And you can start to build up a picture of what happened to you as a child that has an impact now. It's like when you're younger, you put on a pair of glasses that don't have any lenses in, and every time you have an experience, a little bit of glass gets filled out, and then by the time you're an adult, you have a set of glasses, and that's the way you view the world. It's not to say that those things are true, but that's what we've believed to be true, and how you think and feel about money is what your reality with money will be. Then start to understand what your current money mindset and money beliefs are. So asking yourself, how do I feel about money? How do I feel about saving? How does it make me feel? What are the phrases I find myself saying to my friends, to my partner, to my business partner, for example? What are the things you find yourself saying? Because if you are constantly saying you will be bad with money, like I'm bad with money, or I'll never make any money, let me tell you, you will be, because that you will end up creating that situation with the words you use. So number 4 is about changing your language. So there's science behind words and the way that they then end up creating our reality. So our thoughts become our words become our actions, and our actions become our reality. So there is real power in understanding the language that we're currently thinking and talking to ourselves and to others about money, understanding what are the phrases you keep saying. Now, they're just kind of 4 ways, and the best way you can do that is journaling. You can work with a coach, but you can start yourself for free by journaling and asking yourself these questions and seeing what comes up. And sometimes the stuff that comes up is actually crazy. Now, what I then want to show you is some examples of some affirmations you can use. Now, it's not about looking in the mirror and saying, I am a millionaire, because you won't feel it. You're not going to feel like a millionaire if you're not if you're not a millionaire right now. It's more about using language that's going to allow you the space to learn and to grow. So telling yourself, I am good with money. I can make money in my business. My services and products are valuable. I'm in control of my financial situation, and I am worthy of having and making money. So they're just some examples of affirmations that you might use, but you might want to find one that feels better for you when you understand what your money beliefs actually are. So for example, for me, I believed it was really hard to make money. My affirmation was, I make money with ease. And I would find ways to feed into that new affirmation and belief, because we have something in our brain called the RAS, which is the reticular activating system. And when you say something, your brain will go out and find things in the real world to reinforce it. It's a bit like when you say, I'm going to buy a blue Corsa, and then you go outside and it's the only car that you see. Your brain is searching for those opportunities. So you want to basically trick it into doing it the positive way. Now, when it comes to charging, getting comfortable for charging in your business, first up, you want to find evidence to support your case. So look for other people in your industry who are making money, doing similar things to you, as evidence and as a case study to say, if they can do it, I can too. Also, when you yourself hire a new client or sell a product or sell a service, that in itself is a case study to say, if this one person has done it and has bought my services, there are a million or however many other people out there who will do the same. And this is creating like hard facts for your brain to internalize and understand that the opportunity is there. Next up is dig deep into your money mindset. So as I mentioned before, really start to acknowledge, because when you start to work on your money mindset, it's going to affect both your personal and your business finances. It's going to do both. So the more that you can work on that yourself, the better. And that goes to the next one, which is about working on yourself and your sense of self-worth. Because at the end of the day, what is money? Money is just an exchange of value. When you run a business, you are exchanging value. So you're taking money to give and offer out something that is going to help someone else in some way. So when you can start to believe that that's what it is, and it's just an energy and it's just a tool that you can use to do more in your life, you will feel better about what it is that you're charging. And then don't be afraid of money. So I think the word abundance can get thrown around a little bit, like a bit woo-woo-y, but if you come and operate from a place of lack and a place of scarcity, believing that there's not enough clients, not enough opportunities, not enough money to go around, you're going to end up believing that narrative, and that will be your life. Whereas if you can start to acknowledge that there is an abundance of money, an abundance of opportunity, and an abundance of clients, it allows you to focus on that and start to look for those opportunities. Now, when you think about money, the way that I talk about money is that money is just a tool. The money itself isn't good or bad, it's very neutral. It's kind of like a hammer. If you gave two men a hammer and one went and built a school with it and one went and killed someone with it, you don't put the hammer on trial. You don't say the hammer is the good or the bad thing. You say the person is good or bad. The actions that person did. It's the same with money. It's just a tool and a resource to help you do more of what it is that you want to do. So when you can start to also, in your business and in your personal life, understand your financial goals and your financial values, it will help you manage your money better in alignment with that. And it will actually help you start to feel good about it. So for example, if a personal goal for you is to save £5,000, or if a business goal is to make £5,000, you can start to actually view it in a positive way that you can take small steps towards. And when it comes to your financial values, if your values in your business are, loyalty and starting to and helping people, you can view money as something that's just helping you do more of that. Now, that is the sort of when it comes to the energetic and emotional side of money within your business, because when you can start to acknowledge how you feel about it now and start to work on that moving forward, it will have a profound impact on the way that you attract wealth into your business now. So I did that all quite quickly because I appreciate that we only had sort of 25 minutes to get through it, and I wanted to open up for any questions if there were any at the end. Now, if you want to connect with me, this is my socials. I also have a podcast that I've just released, which talks about the emotional, the practical, and the spiritual sides of money, to help you build financial confidence and grow wealth. And I think that Talia shared a link to that a little bit further up in the chat box. But yeah, thank you all for listening. Now, if you have any questions, please do drop a question in the chat box and I will do my best to answer, or feel free to unmute yourself, and I will invite you up. So I think that there is a question here. So, how to get a positive money mindset when you are surrounded by people who have money scarcity mindset? Yeah, so that's a good one. Thank you, Joanne, for asking. So when it comes to people around you, as we know, the classic phrase, you are the sum of the 5 people that you spend your time around. If you are around people who are, have negative views about money, who have very scarcity mindset, really you have 2 options. Don't hang around with those people, or if you have no choice, it's about choosing and being so strong in your own mindset and beliefs towards money that their views aren't knocking you, and you can hear them and you can just let them go. And if you can work on your own money mindset, you can then it will build up kind of like this business case for you yourself about how positive money can be. And if anything, you might be able to then start helping them operate from a place of abundance and not scarcity. And yeah, the best thing you can do is, the work from a neuroscience point of view, we have like neural pathways that are built up over years. And your money mindset, you're essentially breaking those old neural pathways, you're cutting them and you're building new ones. So it does take a bit of time, and the key thing is repetition. So if you want to feel better about money, you need to acknowledge where your mindset is at now, start to change your language, so using affirmations and different more positive or neutral language about money, and just repeating the process. And you just keep going, keep supporting yourself until you can start to build up these places whereby you can say, oh, what I'm believing is happening now, and then that will just spiral upwards. So hopefully that answers your question, but if you need any more clarification, feel free to drop a message in the chat box. And then there's another question from Beth. I'm old school when it comes to money and I'm quite good with it. However, the problem I had when I had my cleaning business was being assertive with clients with price increases. It became a battle of wills. How do I overcome that? So when it comes to charging more, I think first of all, you have to then have your own beliefs that the service you are offering is worth the price that you're charging. And that's going to obviously come from, first of all, doing your money mindset work and starting to understand your own value and your own worth. So then having that level of confidence, and that you're, not overcharging in that respect. Now, when it does come to your services, technically, you can charge what you want. There is no set standard of how much you can and can't charge. You might end up being more expensive than the average person, than the average business within the industry, or you be in the average. As long as you're confident that the service you provide is worth the money that you're charging, that's the kind of first place you want to be. Secondly, when you increase your prices, because other people have their own negative or money mindset issues, there will be people or businesses, business owners who won't always then come along with you on the journey and be okay with your price increases. And unfortunately, that's kind of just how it is. So it's about finding new clients that do align with that. Now, I'm sure every industry is different depending on, especially with inflation and needing to increase it in alignment with that. But yeah, it's more about being confident in yourself and in your services, and maybe increasing it at a smaller rate than a big, massive jump. So hopefully that helps. That's not really a one size fits all for that answer, really. It's more just about getting confident as you increase your prices. And let's have a little look. Laura has said, when working one-to-one, do you apply all of the approaches you mentioned? Yes. So just to give you a bit of breakdown about my one-to-one services, I will the focus is on money mindset. So what we explore what your current beliefs around money are right now, really understanding where you're at, why you've got to where you're at, what your beliefs are, and then we do the work in breaking those down and reprogramming the beliefs to be ones that are going to help you get to where you need to get to. So whether that's breaking the income ceiling that you have in your business right now, whether that is wanting to save to buy a house, whatever it is, those financial goals are going to be different for everybody, but the focus is on the emotional work, and then I bolster it up with the practical work where needed. So if you need certain habits, or if you need certain like budgeting templates or anything like that. So I can share a link for you, which will basically, you can book a free 15-minute sort of money exploration call with me, where I can then tell you about my prices. I can tell you, because it really depends on, they're very bespoke, so each person kind of needs something different. So I'll just get that link up for you now and I can share it with you, or you can drop me an email at laura@mindmoneysoul.co.uk and I can send you the link as well. And it's a very transformative approach. So I'm not a financial advisor. I don't tell you where to put your money. It's more about the emotional, about how you feel about money. And that obviously looks very different for everybody. And another question from Nick Taylor: would you advise clearing personal debt before investing into a proven business idea? Thank you for this session. You're so welcome. That is a tricky question, because it depends on how much debt it is, what the interest is. If it's high interest debt, I would recommend clearing that first. If it's debt where you're on like 0%, or it's a loan that's just being paid off regularly, then you have a bit more leeway to balance out where your disposable income is. What you don't want to do is put yourself in a position where you end up with more high interest debt than you started, and an inability to pay it back. So it's more about working out the numbers and weighing up the two. If I clear all of my debt first, when will I be debt free? Is the business idea still going to work, or am I going to miss the boat? Or if I do it side by side, how can I still clear my debt? When will I be debt free, and what will happen with the business? So you kind of just have to weigh up the two depending on your exact situation. So I hope that helps. So I think that's I think that might be everything. I don't know if anybody else has any questions that they would like to share. I'm just going to quickly get that link for everybody. Where is it? There we go. So here is a link if you would like to book a free 15-minute call with me. There we go. Oh, did I press send? There you go. Sorry if I spoke very fast. There was just so much goodness that I wanted to get out to all of you within a short period of time. So hopefully it's made you think. And if there is one thing that I could say for you to take away from today, it would to be that even though you have these beliefs about money right now, it doesn't mean they're true. And even though you may have been thinking a certain way for a very long time, you absolutely can change. You can change your money mindset with a bit of hard work and affirmations and changing the way that you view money. It's absolutely available to everybody. It's not, our brains are made of plastic. They're incredible. And with the desire and the commitment to make a change, you absolutely can change how you feel about money, because how you manage £10 is how you manage 10,000. So if you can work on the mindset first, when you start making more money, it will be easier to manage and hold on to. So thank you everybody for coming today. I hope you'll find it useful, and please do connect with me on Instagram or drop me an email. I reply to everything as much as that I can. So I would love to speak with you. And yes, thank you all so much. I hope that you found it useful.